Welcome to District Life. I'm Larry Brown Jr.
And I'm Sharifa Gregory. I cannot believe I'm saying this out loud, but we are already at the season finale of District Life Season 2.
It's been so great getting to know you this season and spreading the awareness about so many important issues facing our neighbors these days. The first we're covering is exciting.
That's right. Male veterans who are at high risk of prostate cancer are turning to nuclear medicine to better their chances of survival.
I've seen firsthand what the benefits of nuclear medicine are providing to cancer patients. My treatment for prostate cancer has actually been affected 3 times, and it's changed the management of my disease on each time that I've had a nuclear image scanning. And it really has modified what the doctors were going to prescribe or how they were going to treat my disease.
Nuclear medicine sounds kind of scary with that name, but it has been around for about 70 years, so it's a well-established field. There's 2 aspects of nuclear medicine. One is injecting radio tracers, small amounts of radioactive isotopes into patients to help diagnose and locate disease.
Veterans are diagnosed with prostate cancer at an approximate 40% higher incidence rate than the general population. Of the total population, we see about 15,000 new cases every year. I was diagnosed in 2015 with prostate cancer at the Phoenix VA. I've been through 4 of the nuclear medicine scans. Really, it's not a treatment, it's an imaging to better determine where in your body the cancer is, or if there is some growth at a molecular size that they're just not catching on other older diagnostic type of techniques.
I was diagnosed approximately 2002. I was in my late 40s. The doctor said that was unusual. Nuclear medicine saved me in terms of getting mine pinpointed to exactly where it was, and it showed exactly where all tumors were, not just in my prostate gland. It showed the entire tumors throughout my entire body. Fast forward 2021, I'm 0.1, which is non-detectable.
The way the process goes is that you have an injection, you wait for about an hour, and then you go through the PET CT scanners. And so there's really you don't feel anything.
It's a very, very safe procedure. The other aspect of nuclear medicine is the radiopharmaceutical therapy aspect, where we inject more substantial amounts of radiopharmaceuticals into patients. These are radioactive drugs that target to cancer and will, when properly deployed, slow the cancer growth, prolong patient survival, typically with relatively modest side effects compared to other therapies. But it's a real advancement to be able to have improved quality of life and not necessarily to have to use chemotherapy, which can decrease quality of life.
Nuclear medicine is also used in diagnostic imaging for Alzheimer's disease and cardiac events. Since January, the science has been more accessible. In fact, for the very first time, it's actually covered by Medicare.
College is one option for graduating seniors, but it's not the only path to credentials and careers, thanks to the DC Students Construction Trades Foundation. In this spotlight, students at Phelps High School are learning valuable skills in the electrical field in partnership with the design build company, MC Dean Incorporated.
Activity for today, we know we're going to do PVC duct bank and installation, right?
This is a tremendous learning opportunity for our students who are involved in work-based learning while they're in high school. The DC Students Construction Trades Foundation has been providing these kinds of programs for nearly 2 decades.
All right, so right now we're going to go to Job Connect.
And companies like MC Dean have been a tremendous part of that.
Anything that MC Dean does right now is through Job Connect.
And they put together a 3-week immersive learning module that allows seniors in the electrical pathway to see what happens in a prefabrication shop and in the work that they do at client sites.
So pass that one over to your partners.
When I came to Phelps, they told me that they had CTE classes that could lead to our possible future, and I chose electrical because it was something that interests me.
Now once you take that big swab, you're gonna lay it flat. You're gonna make a big circle all the way around the pipe with it.
It's just very innovative. It's something that's fun. It could be a learning experience to anybody.
Nice and gentle, tap around it, Phil.
This class has prepared me because it helped me to be like a team player, and like, you know, I'm learning like new things. It's my first year in this school and getting different opportunities and everything.
We develop a partnership with a lot of the contractors out here to basically, hey, this is our students. We can actually provide you with students that do have the skill, the knowledge, and the attitude and willing to learn.
Now, those duct banks the students are working on have to be underground somewhere. That most of the products the students make during their lessons are used on real job sites.
That's so cool. And I really don't think you're ever too old to learn something new. If you're looking to up your architecture game or maybe just get a wonderful workout in, check out this next segment.
A volunteer docent at the National Cathedral walks us through the combo climb. Set your Apple Watches, your Fitbits, and I hope you got some stretches in, because this is going to be a bit of exercise.
So even though it's 333 steps, it's not 333 steps all in one swoop. So it's broken up into little places where you can go out and see cool stuff. There we go.
The climb is a cakewalk for docent Andrew Martin, who volunteers to get his heart rate going. But as you'll soon see, it's not just the exercise that gets his heart rate up, it's the magic of the job.
You see the coolest stuff you possibly can. I take you through the secret passages, the back staircases, out onto the roof. You get up close and personal with the gargoyles and the grotesques. So if you can see the insectoid grotesque at the top of that pinnacle on the right there, that is a bug or a fly, and he's holding a can of Raid. You can see the R-A-I-D letters on the can that he's holding. It's a little bit of an unpaid product placement there. This gargoyle was a family that gave it to honor their father, who was a dentist. So you see it's a walrus who's leaning backwards and having a cleaning from the dentist. You can see he's got his little drill and his mirror there.
The tour is just as exciting on the inside as it is on the outside. Take, for example, this slice, or should I say glass, of history in the center of the Gloria in Excelsis Tower.
The stone carvers who built the cathedral, the stone carvers and the masons, a lot of them were Italian. They were all a thirsty lot. And when they disassembled the Masons' Lodge after completing the construction of the cathedral, they found hundreds and hundreds of dusty old bottles of booze. Since the earthquake, I've noticed there's a new set of bottles that's started appearing, a new one every year. Although some of those, I will note, appear to be Martinelli's sparkling apple cider instead of booze.
And if you're afraid of heights, you may need some liquid courage, because there are even more stairs.
Just keep one hand on the railing and one hand on the newel post, and your eyes firmly fixed on the posterior of the person in front of you, and you'll be fine all the way up. And this is a set of bells that can actually play a musical scale. The bells stay still, and it's the clappers that move. They can be moved very easily, and it takes just the tiniest touch for them to make the bell make noise. So I'm going to move it just a couple of inches, and that will make the bell ring.
Got a song request? The Carillon can make just about anything sound magical.
You see stuff that no one ever gets to see at the cathedral, and it is absolutely hands down the coolest way to experience this magnificent church.
Since the earthquake in 2011, the cathedral has used the proceeds from the tours to fix the damage. They've got millions of dollars to go.
Most of us have women in our lives that we look up to. Mine is my mother, Beverly Goldston. In this Black Girl Magic segment, we get to know Melissa, who was lucky enough to have a strong role model in her mother and other strong Black women who raised her. Here's how their teachings live on today.
My name is Melissa Koppel. I grew up in Pennsylvania. I've been a healthcare professional for the last 20 years. My passion is people, just helping and serving people. It started out just simply providing care to those within an assisted living, so definitely humble beginnings, fresh out of college, and it grew into me being an executive and a partner of a home care agency currently today. In the beginnings, as a Black woman, it was hard. It was really hard because I worked very hard in school. I studied my tail off. I was a cheerleader in school. I was told by certain peers that, oh, you only made the cheer squad because you're Black. And I'm like, no, I made the cheer squad because I worked for it. And I deserve it, right? So having that type of interjection into what my goals were, it can possibly weigh on your mind, but I push forward and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just block out the naysayers and do what I need to do because I have a goal in mind. So after I graduated, my first job, like I said, was just a caregiver, you know, humble beginnings. But I'm really thankful for that because it definitely helped me to learn patience, compassion, understanding, and just simply to have a respect for the elderly. Also, again, starting as a caregiver, sometimes you're looked upon as, well, this is all you're gonna do, this is all you're gonna be, there's no way you can make it into the executive role. But how I thought about it was, this is just the beginning. It's okay. I'm gonna get my foot in the door and I'm gonna climb my way to the top. You know, my mom, she was a very strong woman, and she grew up in Virginia where unfortunately there was a lot of racism growing up in Norfolk, Virginia. So she would literally run from the KKK children. And even going through that, she said, you are not a product of your surroundings. You are going to be bigger than your surroundings. I expect more from you. She passed away many years ago, but that's still in me. And no matter what I do, I'm like, you know what? No matter who says no, I'm gonna figure out how to make it yes, because this is what I want for me. My skin color is my skin color. I am beautiful. And I know that because I know who I am and where I came from. And I'm not gonna let the naysayers tell me that I'm less than or plant certain seeds in my head to slow me down. So I grew up in the ghetto. We didn't have much. I was never hungry, thank God. I never went without the necessary essentials. Growing up in 1977 and above, the neighbors helped to raise the children. And my mom, she was young, she was still trying to figure herself out. She had to work. She would work 2-3 jobs if she had to support me. In the beginning, it was just the two of us. And her friends, my neighbors, helped to raise me. And I'm very thankful for that. These were some strong Black women that helped me to understand that right is right and wrong is wrong. No matter how busy my mom was with working those 2 to 3 jobs, she made sure that my homework was done. Not only that it was done, but that it was correct. And please know that if it wasn't, I needed to correct it, because that was the value that she instilled in me. And I'm super thankful for that. You know, it wasn't perfect, but to be honest with you, I would really do it all over again, because those values is truly what helped to kind of shape me and pass on the knowledge to my sisters. What Black Girl Magic means to me is having a power inside and not being afraid to be you, express who you are, love yourself, no matter how light or dark your skin may be, no matter what imperfections we as women may believe we have, but just to have that confidence, because Black Girl Magic is powerful, it is beautiful, and it, I believe, can change the world.
If you've been tuning into District Life this season, you know that Sharifa is an avid cyclist. Now, Sharifa, what would you do if your bike was stolen?
I knew you were going to ask me that, but honestly, I don't think I would have had such a great idea. In this segment, Lisa D sat down with Pastor Robbie Pruitt, who lost a bike but gained 1,000 friends.
Pastor Robbie, thanks so much for joining me today.
A delight to be with you, Lisa, and to be with your audience with DCTV. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And it's awesome to have you here. So I am very excited to talk to you about your wonderful bike ministry, which you're donating bikes to those in need. And actually, it was an unfortunate incident that happened that inspired you to turn this into something very positive, a positive ministry, actually. So can you briefly tell us about the story of how your bike ministry got started?
Yeah, all this happened by accident during the pandemic. I came off of a mountain bike trip and it was going to rain and my bike was dirty. I left it on the back of the car and somebody decided to take my bike. So they stole my bike off the back of my car. And when I went to replace it, I realized that there was this bike shortage and I'm pretty handy. So while I was waiting on my new bike to be ordered that I ordered from an online retailer, I just put it out on Facebook that, hey, lock up your bikes. There's a shortage and, you know, they're getting stolen. And by the way, if your bike's broken, I recognize that there is a lag time for shops not being able to get people in to fix bikes. So if you have a broken bike, I can fix it for you, bring it by. Or if you have a bike that you don't want anymore, I'll fix it and give it to somebody who needs it.
Wonderful. So now let's talk about how it all works. So you said the response was a lot of fun and it was great, because what you've told me earlier is that you have now repaired more than 1,000 bikes. Is that correct?
It is. It's kind of hard to believe, but one bike at a time over 15 months and working from home and having, you know, the time in between, you know, your lunch hour or after a day of work behind a computer screen just to get outside where the weather is nice and work on bikes. And, you know, when in a time where you can't go to a coffee shop and meet your community or be indoors with someone, get to know your community one person at a time as they come over your house with their bikes.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, it sounds like it brings a lot of joy to your heart to donate bikes and to interact with the community and to, you know, do something nice. Can you tell me about one of those special moments? I know you've had many, but one special moment where you donated to someone and it just kind of stands out in your mind.
Well, there are many stories, but one in particular, my neighbor was starting a cleaning business in Leesburg, and one of his workers he discovered was homeless and was walking to the work site every day. And he knew what I was doing next door, and I had helped him fix his bike. And he knew that every Monday we had this bike clinic in the backyard and that we were fixing and giving away bikes. So he took his worker over to my home, texted me and said he was on the way. Did I have bikes? And I said, absolutely. So we outfitted this gentleman with a bike to get to work.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. And then real quickly, not only are you handy with bikes, you also are into poetry. Can you tell us about that really quickly?
I've been doing both since high school and even middle school, a little bit dabbling in poetry and digging bikes out of the trash pile and Frankensteining them. That's how I learned how to work on bikes was right in middle school, digging bikes out of the trash can, but I also started writing poetry in middle school and high school. And it's another creative outlet. I love to work with my hands, and that's why I love to work on bikes. I'm a carpenter by trade, but I also like to put words together. So I am a poet. And at RobbiePruitt.com, I write poetry.
Well, you sound like a wonderful person with a great heart, Pastor Pruitt, and we are just so honored to have spoken with you. Keep up the great work and putting smiles on the faces of others. It's so much needed. And so for those who'd like to find out more about your ministry, how can they do that?
You can go to either my personal website, RobbiePruitt.com, or just go over to the church's website, Church of the Holy Spirit Leesburg, holyspiritleesburg.org. There's a ministries tab, and under that ministries tab at the bottom right-hand corner is our bike ministry.
Perfect, perfect. All right, keep up the good work, and hopefully you'll be at another 1,000 bikes really soon.
I'm going to need some help for that, but absolutely. It's really about the community and those who are giving us bikes to fix. So we're very grateful.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day.
You too.
That was such a heartwarming story. And I can imagine if you've ever seen this next biker around DC, you'd probably assume his wheel had been stolen.
Yeah, but that's not the case.
How you doing? My name is Alan, aka Wheel Bandit. I got the name Wheel Bandit because when I went viral and they put me on the news, a lot of people in the comment section on Instagram was telling me that I'm only on one wheel because I stole somebody's bike and the wheel was still on a light pole somewhere. Since people keep saying that like I stole somebody's bike, why not like put that as a name, like Wheel Bandit? 15, 16, that's when I started taking the bikes real serious. I started riding with only one wheel in about April of 2021. To ride with one wheel, it took me about a month and a half. Then after that, it was good, like clockwork. The advice I would give people that's afraid to fall is, I can't say don't be afraid because I'm still afraid sometimes when I'm about to fall. You gotta know how to fall and how to move your body basically when you fall so you don't severely hurt yourself. It's basically like parkour. One day I was doing DoorDash, but I was on like breaks, so I was just riding around and somebody recorded me going down New York Avenue and they was yelling at me, but I couldn't hear them because they had the windows up. And a couple days later, a news reporter had seen it and she wanted to put it on the news.
They getting that order, you know.
The people I bike around with, I met them a couple years ago through a friend named EJ. At first I was riding my bike by myself, and then I was seeing him riding his bike around and stuff. That's who really got me into like trying to start wheeling and doing the no front wheel and stuff like that. So once I met him, he had a group of friends that he lived by and he was always riding with. And one day we just went to like a big ride out, and I met everybody. And some people might think we're a gang, but I don't think we're really a gang. I feel like we're more of a family. I've seen a couple of people get hit by cars, and I done got hit by a car about 3 times myself since wheeling. So it's common, but you just gotta be aware of your surroundings when wheeling. When I'm in a big group, I feel like I have more energy because other people in the group be doing tricks and they be going like faster than you, so you have to keep up and you trying to like outdo them sometimes.
Have you ever been stopped or chased by
On like a bad term, no, not while I was on my bike, like not since I've been like riding my bike, but like on good terms, like they want to talk to me, like ask me why I started doing it and stuff like that, then yeah, they stop me. So I want to start like traveling more like throughout the year, like do a lot of traveling on my bike, like just meet a lot of people, go to a lot of different cities and stuff like that, just to explore. I just want to go to Cali. My dream for this bike stuff is basically, if I can ride bikes for the rest of my life and get paid what I love to do and be able to take care of my family while doing this, then that's what I like to do for the rest of my life.
Everybody in the club.
What's I supposed to say again?
Chill. He just like did that, Mo.
What? What did you just say?
I said he did a great job. Terrific.
Okay, that's DC slang.
Yes, just watch this edition of Where in the District and learn about what we talking about, Mo.
Hi, I'm Carmen. I'm from Dallas, Texas. This is Delmar. He's from here. He's not mute, but he doesn't have much to say. But when he does have something to say, it's normally some DC slang. And that is why he's here, to help me out today, because I'm country. You know, I have no idea what these words mean. I'm trying to figure out who's Mo, and if I need to give them something, or if they need to give me something. If I'm Mo, how did I become Mo? If I'm Torch, what's Torch? Who's Torch? Do I need to pass you something to get something for Torch? So let's figure out what these words mean. Who's Mo?
Anybody, anything.
You said who's Mo? Everybody.
Everybody,
Mo.
yeah.
You feel me?
Mo is anybody. Hey, Mo on the camera. Mo interviewing me. Mo got the audio, you feel me? Hey, Mo.
What does it mean if someone is perping? Did I say that right, Delmar? Perping?
My understanding of perping is like they're doing the most, doing too much.
Perping? I mean, they faking.
Okay, well, it sounds like a shortened version of like a perpetrator.
Oh, the first try.
Oh, that's them perpetrating, them stunting, they playing games. They ain't really about that life.
Oh, okay. How do Washingtonians use the word kill?
Kill, like a surprise. It can go under a few things, but like of a certain surprise. You mean like, oh, kill, the accident just happened.
Kill was more like straight up facts.
What does it mean if someone's welling?
Someone's welling. It's almost the same thing as perpetrating. Like they welling right now. Like, dang, they not really telling the truth right now. They just, why are you falsating the story right now to me? You welling, Mo. You welling, Mo.
Extra. I think, is that welling? Is welling extra? Is that doing the most?
Yeah, it's like perping, but it's easier to say.
Welling, like you're doing the most.
Okay.
That's what's in my brain.
I feel like if you're gonna call someone out, you'd be like, you perpin'. But if they're just being like extra, you'd be like, you wellin'.
Right. Okay, what's jaw like?
Like it was jaw like crazy last night when we was turning up. I don't know what happened. Everybody was lit. It was jaw like, what's that? Like, it's jaw like whatever.
See, here in DC, we have a lot of hot sauce of tongue phrases, and jaw like is one of them. Like, I'm jaw like hungry right now. I was actually on my way to get something to eat, you know what I mean?
I don't even know. It feels like something I shouldn't be using.
You know, in a sentence it'd be like, you jaw like lying.
How do you express that you're mad in DC slang?
I just say I'm heated.
You just gotta go up, like you throwing me off. Like it's a couple things you had, like heated, blowing me, throw me off.
Someone told me blowing.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Blown.
Cause blown, I'm blown. I got that wrong. You feel me? I'm blown. I got that wrong. I use that every day. You feel me?
Right. So, what's torch?
Torch means good, delicious.
What carryout you went to for that chicken? That's on Torch. There we go.
Torch?
Yeah.
I could spell it.
That's great. That's always a good start. What's champ? Is champ like, is it like that's what's up? I don't know.
Nah, like champ, like you not it. Like it's not it.
Oh, it's the opposite of that's what's up. Oh, thank you.
There's no context clues. I mean, it's like, it's either related to like being a champion or not. And if it's not related to that, I do not know.
It's kind of like saying you're an all-star to the hood.
Man, Delmar, that was fun. I must say, I did learn a lot.
That's good, that's good.
I'm not going to use any of these words in a sentence for the rest of my life.
Do you think you could say a whole sentence in DMV?
No. I can ask someone, no. How do you feel?
No. I love the DC slang, you know? It's a whole different language.
Yeah.
These people are amazing, very passionate, and they just like warm my heart, you know what I mean? So.
Thank you again for watching. Back to you in the studio.
Those dudes with the ice cream sandwiches was geeking me.
I don't know what you're saying. I'm gonna call my interpreter.
You have an interpreter on your phone. I am so not ready for this.
Oh, what's good, Shay? Yeah, what Larry was saying was, those gentlemen with the frozen confections made me giggle. The ice cream sandwiches did look torched, though.
Okay, I think I get it. I think.
Sharifa, this has been a great season. I cannot wait to do more.
I know, it has been a very exciting season, and I can't wait for the next one. Delmar, take us out.
All right, Shay, I'm gonna catch you later. And y'all stay safe and dangerous out here in these DC streets. Season 3 of District Life coming soon.